say that, all kidding aside, we take your comments very seriously here at The View. We want you to send them in, pro or con, because that's the only way we know if you think we're doing a good job. Okay, fine. That being said, are you in credit card debt? Is your savings account a fond memory? I gotta swallow. Are you counting on that man in your life to bail you out? Forget about it. Our next guest says, wake up and take control, because you shouldn't rely on anybody but yourself to get out of debt and put money in the bank. Please welcome the author of great title, Prince Charming Isn't Coming: How Women Get Smart About Money. Barbara Stanny.
Not bad, Barbara.
Barbara, you know, I'm going to be totally honest with you. When I was assigned this segment and I first saw the title of your book, I was kind of offended by it, because I thought, well, wait a minute, I didn't marry my husband, you know, for the money and that he would understand. Then I realized, the more I thought about the way I handle my own finances, it's not my husband, but I'm always relying on somebody. In my case, it's the guy at Merrill Lynch. And I don't know stocks from bonds, and I just figure, well, as long as I've got putting in the paycheck, someone else will figure it out.
Not good.
Not good.
I say it's not the man, it's the myth that has to go. Because I know I grew up in a wealthy family. I grew up, my father was the R of H&R Block.
That's wealthy.
That's wealthy. And everyone said, boy, if I had her money, you know, I'd never have to worry. Wrong. Wrong. Just turned out my Prince Charming, the husband, was a compulsive gambler. And he lost a fortune. And after we were divorced, I got billed out the wazoo from the IRS. And so it's like, I would go to the bank and I wouldn't even have $60 to take out. So I knew I had to get my financial act together.
That's essentially what happened, right? You went to get money and you were told you didn't have it in your account.
That's when I knew I was in trouble. I knew my husband was gambling. But it wasn't until I had no money in the bank that I knew that I was in trouble.
But where was your big Prince Charming, the R and H&R Block, Daddy? Why didn't he come in?
In fact, I asked him to lend me money when I had all these bills, and he wouldn't lend it to me. Now, it's the best thing he could have done. It really was. That was the turning point for me. That's when I knew there was no Prince Charming, there was no one. I had to do it. And that's where we all have to get to. When we get to the point, I have to do it myself.